Welcome to this edition of The Lead. I'm Mariana Larson. Let's get started. Lawmakers in Florida are considering a bill that will penalize anyone who keeps a spacecraft or its parts. Violators would risk a first-degree misdemeanor charge and could face up to 1 year in jail, 1 year of probation, and a fine of up to $1,000. These charges can also be stacked on existing theft penalties. One of the purposes of the bill is to keep Florida residents safe. Space parts could be dangerous to touch and contain toxic chemicals. The bill also promotes the reuse of spacecraft parts and protects Florida's title of Spaceport of the World. While there is no word on whether the bill will be passed, everyone is encouraged to turn in discovered spacecraft parts to Florida law enforcement so its rightful owners can be found. Please visit WUFT.org to view the complete story, and for any of your other news needs, check out WUFT. In this week's installment of the Global Review, the leads Phoenix Berman and Clara Calavia tell us about the blockage of the Suez Canal, North Korea's testing missiles, and Israel's elections results. It's time to travel around the globe.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Review. I'm Phoenix Berman.
And I'm Clara Calavia. Here are your top international stories.
The ship blocking the Suez Canal has been fully dislodged. The Ever Given's owners say strong winds pushed it and its huge cargo of more than 20,000 shipping containers sideways in the canal last Tuesday, wedging it between the canal's sandy banks. The rear of the vessel was freed on Monday morning from one of the canal's banks, and tugboats freed the bow of the ship soon after. Ships around the world carrying vital fuel and cargo have been blocked from entering the canal for days, raising alarm over the impact on global supply chains.
The ship will now be taken to a nearby lagoon for inspections.
North Korea has tested new guided missiles as it continues to expand its military capabilities. North Korea's Central News Agency said the two missiles accurately hit a target off the eastern coast on March 25th. The test firings were the North's first major provocation since Biden took office in January. In President Biden's first press conference, he stated that the security environment in North Korea is a top foreign policy priority. Nuclear negotiations with the United States remain stalled. North Korea responded to Biden's criticism, calling his comments a provocation and an encroachment on the North's right to self-defense.
In other news, final election results have shown Israel in a political deadlock, with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his opponents falling short of a government majority.
This year's elections were important as Prime Minister Netanyahu, who is running again, is currently on trial for corruption. He put Israel's highly successful vaccination drive at the center of his campaigns, but citizens criticized him for earlier missteps during the pandemic and for refusing to step down after being indicted.
The outcome of the elections will, among other things, determine the course of Israel's relations with the Palestinians.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken outlined the Biden administration's foreign policy objectives during a recent trip to Brussels. The trip was divided into two priority objectives: revitalizing the NATO alliance and focusing on U.S.-EU relations. Blinken's meeting with Secretary General Stoltenberg at NATO discussed topics including China's disinformation efforts, climate change, and regional security matters. Blinken also focused on the EU, meeting with the EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs, Josep Borrell. The key takeaway is an agreement by both sides to relaunch the bilateral dialogue on China. Blinken's trip emphasizes America's commitment to the reconstruction of transatlantic relationships. That's it for this week's edition of the Global Review. I'm Phoenix Berman.
And I'm Clara Calavia. See you next time.
The Gainesville Police Advisory Council discussed the use of police body cameras in a city hall meeting. Opinions varied among Gainesville residents. Advisory Council member Keon Young said police cameras should be on at all times to protect citizens during encounters. Lieutenant Jarrett Weiland countered by saying the cameras are turned on in 99% of the cases he investigates. The cameras are triggered when a taser is powered or when a gun is removed from its holster. Weiland is the Gainesville Department's Internal Affairs Commander. His division gathers facts and conducts interviews about police officers with multiple complaints. UF is set to return to pre-COVID normalcy. The Lead's Isabella Leandri has the latest on the announcement.
After maintaining a 1% COVID-19 positivity rate the past month, UF announced its plan to return to normal classroom capacities for the summer B and fall semesters. In a statement released March 19th, Dr. Joe Glover, Provost and Senior Vice President, said a normal selection of online courses will also be available, but it is expected that the semesters will be mostly normal. The decision was based on progress in vaccinations and declines in positive cases on campus.
We've seen the eligibility age for vaccines in the state of Florida continue to expand. And there's also been a continued decline in positive cases in our campus and in our community. And we just expect that to continue, especially after April 5th, when all adults become eligible.
Students react to the news about returning to normalcy.
We're kind of turning back to a new normal. I think because with the vaccines rolling out and everything, and Florida kind of saying that on April 5th, everybody who's 18 and up can finally get their vaccines, that it looks like we're heading into a positive direction, so I'm super excited.
Over 16,000 undergraduates are enrolled in face-to-face courses currently, and the university says there has been no evidence of COVID transmission in classrooms or laboratories.
Everything that we do is still going to be in consultation with our experts at UF Health. And if for whatever reason our experts tell us that they do not believe we should proceed forward, we will change plans as needed.
Isabella Leandri, The Lead.
The city of Gainesville is hosting events throughout the month of April. Let's take a look at some things happening around town. The Matheson History Museum is celebrating its grand reopening on April 2nd with a brand new exhibit featuring inspirational women of Alachua County. The museum has been closed since March 17, 2020, due to the coronavirus. The new exhibit is called Trailblazers, 150 Years of Alachua County Women. The main purpose of the exhibit is to share the stories of inspiring women in the community and highlight their impact on the county. The museum will be open from 1 to 4 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, with a limited capacity of 12 visitors in the building at a time. Both visitors and museum staff are required to wear face coverings. Another event happening soon is the Diplo concert. Diplo will be coming to Gainesville on April 9th and will be performing at the Vivid Sky Warehouse. The venue will be at limited capacity. Face masks and temperature checks are required to enter. The concert will start at 7 p.m. and end at midnight. That's it for this episode of The Lead. Make sure to follow us at WUFT News on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. I'm Mariana Larson. See you next time.